It's been leaked that the next characters to be added to the shop are Huohuo and Robin, which is great. Probably the best possible characters we could have gotten. But which one should you actually pick, whether you're a long-time Star Rail addict or new player just picking up the game for the first time? Neither have been the best recently, but both still have unique utility and useful Eidolons that you can pick up even if you already have them. H2O has stayed useful longer than nearly every other character, with her ability to give the entire team energy while sustaining, with no shortage of characters who can appreciate the extra energy like Saber or the recently released Yao Guang. But she hasn't been great recently because her healing hasn't really been enough to rely on anymore. However, on top of being free, she's also getting buffed in the same patch. Who knows at this point how much they'll change, but thankfully, it won't take much. Even if they just do the bare minimum and improve her healing, and probably improve the uptime of her attack buff, she'll go back to being just as strong and useful as she ever was. If they do even more than that and make her ult give even more energy, or substantially increase her ability to spam it, she might just become the new best sustain in the game. All for free. Her E1, as it is just now, is decent too. 12% speed for the team isn't crazy or worth rolling for, but across the whole team it's quite a lot of stats that can just make the whole game comfier for you by easing your build requirements. Her E2 isn't very good though, just being a revive. As long as they actually buff her properly, it shouldn't do much, since the biggest thing they should be improving with her Novaflare is her sustain, making the E2 hopefully redundant, but that is before the buffs. Her Eidolons are very likely to see changes too, especially that E2 since it will be basically useless like I just said. Robin has fallen off with the decline of follow-up characters, making her ult a bit harder to get in modern teams, along with her attack buff having become a lot less useful as we get more characters who scale better with other stats. But she is still the only character with the incredibly powerful ability to fully action advance the entire team. Making her free will be very nice, giving everyone the option of another tool in their toolbox and opening up different strategies and ways to play, especially for low cycle clears. But best of all are her Eidolons. Her E1 is like the first absolutely broken support E1, giving the entire team 24% res pen, an extremely undiluted buff that most of the time will just result in straight up 24% more damage. Even better than that though might be her E2 at this point. Nowadays, with her energy being a bigger flaw in her kit, limiting her usefulness, having easier access to an Eidolon that helps fix that for her could drastically improve her ability to slot into teams. Her and Huohuo are kind of like complete opposites, really. With a Novaflare, Huohuo will be an extremely strong option for anyone to pick up at E0 and slot into lots of teams, but with limited Eidolon value if you already have her or have some companion spirits saved up already. While Robin at E0 will open up a new option for your account and enable some new strategies, but without a Novaflare like Huohuo, she still has all of the same flaws that have pushed her out of the top of the meta and make her not quite the best in slot character for modern teams. But if you already have her, or have some spirits saved up, her Eidolons can be hugely valuable. E1 helping to close the gap with modern supports, making her a viable replacement, and E2 helping to solve one of her issues and make her more universally useful. Robin might not be the best option in a lot of modern teams nowadays, but she is still an extremely strong one that can be used with a lot of different characters. Even some anti-synergistic ones if you really need her to. Team-wide action advance is just that good. She essentially will be just like Ranmei when she was added to the shop. On paper, no longer the best option for many teams, but in practice, still extremely useful for just about anyone, as an option to fill up teams when you need them to. If only there was some way of fixing her biggest issue, that damn song. If she had an Eidolon that just said adds Robin's entire song library as options for her ult, it would be the best Eidolon in the game in my book. 24% res pen? Pfft. My sanity? You son of a bitch, I'm in. Take my money. For new players, both are extremely strong, but I'd still lean towards getting Huohuo. Getting enough strong sustains for your teams is the most impactful thing you can do as a new player. And Gallagher no longer really cuts it in the endgame at all for new players with subpar builds. Unlike Locha last year, she won't feel bad just to pick for that in the long term either, as she should be an extremely strong support in her own right, able to ease the entire team's energy requirements and even synergizing excellently with a lot of the new characters coming out like Yao Guang, who Hoyo seems to be giving some energy issues to. Robin could be the better option if you're going for Ash Veil and follow-up specifically though, or just already have your sustaining needs met or have some sustains that you really like as characters in general that you'd rather wait for. As strong as her Eidolons are as well, I don't think for the vast majority of people that they would be worth getting over E0 of Huohuo if you don't already have her, even if you do already have your sustain needs met. The energy utility she brings, I think, is just more valuable to your account than 24% res pen. I actually think Huohuo is likely to be the new best character in the shop. For example, even though I have enough sustains already, I'd take her over Robin as well as Ranmei, but maybe I'm biased since I like Dot and Saber. I don't think so though, because there is another factor that makes her likely the best pick from the shop: the apparent new additions to the 50-50 loss pool, with Silverwolf apparently being added as a character you can potentially lose your 50-50 to. In the same patch as Huohuo should be added to the shop, it decreases the necessity of characters like Ranmei and Robin when you could potentially just get Silverwolf by accident as another alternative universal third slot into your teams. Generally, I think the priority of characters in the shop now will be Huohuo, Robin, then maybe Robin's Eidolons, then Ranmei, then her E1, and then whoever you like, really. I just recently released a massive video on my other channel explaining the entire Fate franchise, from the basics that will help make it all easy to understand and enjoy, to the stage plays and weird spin-offs. If you've been curious about it since Star Rail's collab and with the new anime airing right now, but haven't known where to start, well, start with my video. Totally unbiasedly the best place to start the Fate franchise. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.